What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, by now you all know about these riots that are going on in various places, and namely, one of the main places is California, Los Angeles to be exact. Shout out LA. And I'm going to show you something that is beyond belief and totally disrespectful. The guy you see up here right now is a senior senator for California, and his name is Alex Padilla. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy was removed from a press conference, I guess about immigration and ICE, when he came in there to ask questions, and they manhandled the crap out of him. Handcuffed him, put him on the ground forcibly, and then threw him out. This is a state senator, and they did him like this. If you don't see that America is falling apart at the seams right now, I ain't never seen it in this much damn disarray. For real. Take a look at this, man, and I'll come back with some commentary. I'll try not to be offensive to anybody, because you know I don't be into politics like that. I just go by what I see. This is complete lunacy.
Let's head to LA first. This video is really getting a lot of attention. Look at this. It's going to get a lot more attention as we wait to hear from Senator Alex Padilla. He was forcibly removed from a news conference. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem holding the news conference. There she is. He got in, tried to ask her a question. They dragged him right out of the room. News Nation's Alex Capriello live in LA, also waiting for that hearing, Newsom versus Trump, in court today. But what do we know about Senator Padilla, first of all, Alex?
Yeah, a really shocking moment caught on camera, Connell. We only heard that the Secretary, Kristi Noem, was coming into town holding this press conference earlier this morning, so it caught us all a bit off surprise. But Senator Alex Padilla was there, and I'm told somewhat interrupted this press conference, trying to ask a question, pose questions to the Secretary while she was speaking, and then being forcibly removed, as that video shows. I got to mention, in these press conferences, there's typically dozens of cameras of news media outlets, so there was a lot of eyes on what was happening there. We are told, according to Senator Padilla's office, that he was exercising his duty to perform congressional oversight of the federal government's operations in Los Angeles and across California. Obviously, we know a lot of eyes on Los Angeles over the last few days. The senator saying he was going there to pose questions. That statement going on to say that the senator tried to ask the secretary a question and was forcibly removed by federal agents, forced to the ground, and then handcuffed. We are told that he is not currently detained, and they're working to get additional information. And then just now, new information from the Department of Homeland Security, a response of sorts, which says that after this altercation occurred, after Kristi Noem finished up that press conference, that they actually met face-to-face and had a 15-minute conversation, meaning Noem and Padilla. They said that Senator Padilla chose a disrespectful political theater and interrupted that live press conference. They also explained that the Secret Service was unaware of who it was, that he was not wearing his official congressional pin, that he was told repeatedly to back away. He would not follow those commands, and that's why the Secret Service thought that he was an attacker and that the officers, according to DHS, acted appropriately. A very fluid situation. A lot of reaction coming in from Capitol Hill. For example, the Hispanic caucus says that this is totally unacceptable, full stop. Also, we're hearing from other lawmakers on Capitol Hill, including Chuck Schumer, who actually interrupted his speech to talk about what happened with Padilla. Connell?
You know, it's interesting. We'll see what Padilla says himself, how he explains it. I know he came in, he said, "I'm Senator Padilla." At your point, the agents say they didn't know who he was and weren't sure. So we'll see how he explains that. He's supposed to hold his own news conference, which we'll probably dip into live here in a few minutes whenever he speaks.
Guys, ready? And Bell, sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is, a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your.
I also want to
Hands up.
How many of our ICE agents have been docked?
On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you don't my hands, go ahead, put them behind my back.
All right. Cool. Hand, one hand. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording loud out here.
That was some disrespectful shit. Seriously. That was some... Man, that's wild. That is wild right there. What y'all make of that? They manhandled the shit out of him. Ain't care who he was. You know what I mean? They claiming, oh, we ain't know who he was. Come on, man. Ain't nobody in that thing know who he was. How did people find out who he was? All these political figures and stuff, they know of each other. They go to parties, events, and all of this stuff. I'm more than sure that lady up there knew who he was. That's why they acted the way they acted. If they was the Secret Service and if he was really a threat, they would have jumped on him. They didn't. They kind of creeped around and then start pushing him slowly out. How much power does a senator have? Now they up there talking about the stuff going on in California. In this press conference, he said they've been given limited or next to no knowledge of the ICE agenda out there. And he came to ask some questions. Soon as he opened his mouth, get him out of here, get him out of here. That's buck wild. These are the people that are leaders. This is what leads us right now. America's in disarray. Something like that should have never happened in front of the press. It shouldn't. You know, regardless of who you think is right or wrong, that is not a good image for the American people to see right now, where a lot of people's opinions and sentiment is up in the air about all of the things that are happening, depending on which side of the fence you're on. That's not a good look. It is. It's not. That is crazy as hell. He threw the man on the ground and everything. Took him in the back. If the cameras wasn't there, he probably would have got the business. Oh, we ain't know who he was. It's crazy. Crazy. This is the world we in right now, where this type of shit happens. That right there will make international news just because it was a physical confrontation and it looks crazy. Either way, man. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I told y'all a while ago, something big is coming. And when it comes, a lot of people's feelings going to be hurt. And you're starting to see the shock waves, or the four, instead of the aftershocks, the foreshocks of something happening. You got a lot of people riding and planning different things in other states and stuff. You don't think they ready for that? You don't think they ready for that? This man is rough. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Oh yeah, one more thing. Trump is in court today, right? Doing some type of stuff in court. I'm anxious to see what he gonna say about this when they ask him about it. And I'm just anxious to see.